How you doing, guys? I'm Sean. Welcome to Dreaming of Avalon. So guys, myself and Lynn, we're going to be doing a wee video in a couple of moments here just after I do this introduction. The reason why I'm making this, I just want to apologise to each and every one of you for the delay in uploading this video. We made it in February of 2019 and basically I got brought into hospital shortly afterwards to get an operation that I was awaiting on, and I had to obviously go for the operation, but as a result of it everything got knocked back. And obviously I've got my own wee business and Lynn's got her business, and I just hadn't got the time. By the time I got round to get myself on my feet again and recovering from the operation, I just hadn't got the time really to put the video together, and sadly it got put to the back burner. My apologies, it should have been done before this here, but look, I'm really sorry guys, I never got a chance to do it. So we're going to be uploading videos once a month now. I hope you enjoy this video. It's a lot of good questions in it and I hope you enjoy the answers. And thanks for all your love, all your support on the channel, and hopefully your understanding in the delay of getting this video up. Here's me and wee Lenny. How you doing, guys? I'm Sean.
Hi guys, I'm Lynn. I hope you're having an amazing day.
Absolutely magical day. Guys, today's video is a question and answer video. We done a video last month there and we asked you any questions you want to ask us, leave them in the comments below, and you have. And we're going to answer them now.
Yeah, now guys, thank you so much for all your questions. There were some amazing questions there, so we're looking forward to answering them. And also thanks so much for all your support and all your comments. You guys are brilliant. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you being here on this journey with us. So listen guys, our first question from Jay Wall. What's a good way to determine which crystals work well together?
Yeah, that's a good question. Now, when it comes to what crystals to work together, obviously trial and error. You need to use them yourself to see how it feels. So you go what crystals you feel instinctively drawn to and what the purpose is that you're using them for. If you're using them, say like for meditation, then a combination of crystals, a bit like anything, a combination of different types of crystals creates a synergy. So if you're using just one, just to lie there and meditate, nothing wrong with that. But a synergy of crystals can be more powerful, and obviously it's going by what you're drawn to, and the purpose you're needing it for. If you're needing it for some healing or heartache, or you're using it for energy, you go with crystals you're drawn to use and then use them all together. Trial and error. If you find that it's not working or it's too much, you think, God, this combination of crystals is a bit too much for me, then whittle it down. But the answer I would give to that is try it. Try a combination of crystals and see how it makes you feel and how it works for you. So Definitely. You're not going to know till you try.
Yeah, so that's 100% right, because we're all intuitive beings and it's like everything else. Do you know what I mean? The more you're working with the crystals, your energy with the crystals, one at a time. We've done it in other videos. We said, look, rather than just buying 10 crystals and then trying to work with all 10, choose a crystal, work with it for a week, work with it for a month. Don't touch any other crystal if you want to really connect to that energy. And the more you become more aware of your intuitiveness, get out into nature, and you start to watch what you're putting into your mind, you will start to become more intuitive. And then as Lynn says, or you would be picking different crystals. The books will tell you one thing, we could tell you one thing, but see you as an intuitive being, that's the person you want to tap into. There's no right and wrong. So go with it, work with your crystals, and then you can actually get a nice wee set together.
So when it comes to combination of crystals, start off slowly and start introducing more so it feels right for you.
Definitely. So there you go, Lenny, read that one out.
The second one. Now this is by the Midnight Hour.
Good old song.
Yeah. And it's so great to see you both back on here. My question is, do you wear crystal jewellery? And if so, what are your favourite pieces? Yeah, now I wear crystal jewellery every day. I always wear these earrings. I have a load, in fact I have a drawer full of crystal jewellery, different pendants of every type of crystal you can imagine. And earrings as well, a lot of clear quartzes, rose quartzes, citrines, but I tend to absolutely be hooked on aqua aura. I wear these pretty much every single day, and it's one of my favourite crystals. And although it has been sort of colour the actual gold molecules with aqua aura, we've made a video on aqua aura before, they put the clear quartz into a vacuum, and the molecules from the gold adhere to the outside surface. So it's not actually altering the structure internally of the crystal, but it is externally. So I know it's not 100% natural, but it's still a natural quartz. They're doing it too. But for some reason, maybe the combination of the gold and the quartz together and the blue, I just really love Aqua Aura. I have a few pieces and I love to wear the pendants as well. But again, this is going back to using how you feel on a daily basis. Some days I'll get up and I'll feel drawn to wear completely different types of jewellery every day. And I always usually carry crystals in my pocket as well, of a combination, whatever I feel like carrying on me on that day, and for whatever reason, depending on how I'm feeling.
There you go, happy days. So as far as I'm concerned, no, I don't wear crystals. I do carry a crystal and have done for many years. The same, it's a tiger's eye, given it by a lovely friend of ours, Tracy, many years ago.
Beautiful.
And I carry that with positive energy. I used to have a medicine pouch but had wee bits and crystals. If I'm drawn towards carrying a crystal, I will. But I don't wear crystal jewellery. I don't wear jewellery, full stop, you know. So, no, that's... you never know. You might see me next week. I might have a pendant when I have pendants on me. Okay, so we've got Mary Jane. Love your videos, Lynn and Sean. Thanks for allowing me to ask the question. My question is, could having too many crystals in one room make you feel different or anxious? No, you're good. And you guys have a favourite crystal? Thanks in advance. Blessings.
Yeah, again, this is all down to the combination again. I personally do think you can have too many crystals in one. I don't think you can ever have too many crystals, guys. But you can have too many crystals in one space, especially if you're working with them. And me and Sean have been experimenting crystals for a long time. And I went through a phase where I thought the more the better. And I used to have them, I'd go to bed of a night, tons of crystals all by my bed. And I used to wake up not being able to sleep. I used to feel quite wired. And I find now, at this stage in my life, I actually find less is best. And I find the less I sort of have, I mean, I've got tons and tons of crystals, but I find that by my bed I have just a few, 2 or 3. And also in my office desk, I have a combination of 4 on the desk. And I find less is sometimes best in that case, because you can leave it a little bit wired. So regarding can it encourage anxiety? Well, each crystal sort of can have different feelings on how it makes you feel. So if you have a massive combination of crystals all within your close range, so this table was packed with crystals now and you're sitting here trying to work or concentrate, it can probably, if you're thinking of so many things and it's doing all these things to you, it can make you probably not the best for anxiety then. You're better off maybe just having 1 or 2 crystals to help you relax and come down a little bit. But again, every single person is different. I've heard of people who the more the merrier, do you know? I mean, again, it's probably best to just have crystals, introduce crystals slowly to what you want to use and see how they make you feel. I personally think you can use too many crystals all at once. But that's only my opinion. Yeah.
And what's your favourite crystal? Have you got a favourite crystal?
I have, yeah. Again, probably Aqua Aura. My favourite crystal, yeah. Lovely.
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, you can't have too many crystals, Lynn was saying there. So basically, it is, because they're all energy, and it's like everything else, they don't neutralise each other. They can work in harmony, which with the previous questioner was saying, yes, choosing them intuitively that they're okay, but if you've got a whole collection of energy, it's going to have a positive or maybe even a negative effect on you. So yes, definitely I think you'll have too much. Lynn says less is best, in my opinion. Okay guys, this week's question here is from Pikov. My apologies for not knowing. Let me ask part of it. Have you found any patterns or built a space that allows you to enter another realm at a specific location each time, aka an altar room or a shrine or a crystal organite pyramids? The answer to that would be no. It's not we're saying that doesn't happen. It's almost like, especially when you're saying about specific time and things like that. But what I have done in the past with shamanism, and takes you into this ordinary state of consciousness, into a shamanic state of consciousness using the drum, and it does take you into that other reality. But I have to say that, no, we haven't got an altar, we haven't got a place that we can go to. As far as I'm concerned, have you?
No, I haven't either. No,
you know,
not where I've gone to that other realm anyway.
Do you know what I mean? And I suppose it's like everything else. You can have a nice a healing room or a place where you go and meditate. That in itself, if you think about it, it's taking you to this reality, into the a different reality when you're meditating. So I suppose it's like everything else. It's our terminology of using, but certainly not to go, in my opinion, and to go to a specific place and location, like time travel, going into that. So no, I'm afraid not. Interesting to know if you do. If you have, please leave the wee comment down below. I'm very, very interested in hearing about them. Okay, let's see. Next one.
Another question, lots of laughs. I was recently in Ireland with my husband. I'm very strongly connected to the Boyne Valley, including North Hill, at Tara and Newgrange. Is there a site in Ireland you connect with most? Thanks again. Now, there definitely is with me, yeah. My favourite place here on the island of Ireland would be just outside Dublin, and it's called Killiney Hill. And it's actually a lovely part of a nature place where you actually walk up this hill, and a lot of dog walkers there, they walk their dogs and everything like that, and it is the most amazing energy there. When I go there, I just feel a complete utter peace, and the view from the top of this Killiney Hill, it goes on for absolutely miles. You see Dalkey Island and you see all the sea. Oh, it is just amazing how it feels there. And there's a little wood and everything, and a lot of celebrities would live there, and you can see why, because I have to admit, if I was absolutely loaded, that would probably be my dream.
The reason why they live there is because it's about £1 million for a house. Like,
yeah, it's very, very expensive to live there, but you can see why. I mean, it is just so beautiful there, and close to Dublin as well, close to the airports, close to everything, but you've got the countryside there, you've got the beach and everything. It's just amazing, and that would be my dream location. Although I love living here in Belfast, so I love Belfast City.
On the Belfast,
that's my special place.
Mine would be Knocknaray up in Sligo. I think it's a very special mountain. And I think the energy there is phenomenal. I think it's just, I've never experienced anything like it. And I think, people talk about Newgrange and things like that here in Ireland, but in reality, my belief is very strong on the fact that Knocknaray would probably be more of a significant location than Newgrange. And I think it's sad. It's just an amazing place. If you're ever up in Sligo, Knocknaray.
It's amazing. Knocknaray and Queen Maeve's tomb on the top of it. It's quite incredible.
Definitely. Here you go.
Well, Melissa Numi, is it okay to not use all of your crystals? I'm a big culprit of this and not sitting down in my sacred space. Though it is the first thing I see when I wake up. Is this okay? Now, as the people who would know, we have a lot of crystals. A lot of crystals. It would be impossible for us to sort of use them all the time. So, the answer to that question is absolutely no problem at all, and don't feel guilty. Crystals come from the earth. They're used to resting deep in the earth. Remember, they've took billions, some people say thousands, millions, I would say billions of years, certainly millions of years, to get to where they are now. For example, these crystals here. The time that you're not necessarily going to be using them isn't even a tiny little blink of an eye in their existence when you think of it. Crystals are used to resting, and sometimes it does you good. If you don't use your crystals all the time, you may even go a few years without using them. You may have them in a drawer, you may have them on a table, you may have them in a box. That's fine. They're used to resting, so don't feel guilty. You'll feel drawn to use them crystals at different times throughout your life. Your crystals are probably going to be with you for life. And there's times you may not think about them. There's times you think, I have to get that rose quartz or that labradorite. I've not used it for 2 years, but I feel drawn to use it now. And that's absolutely fine. So don't feel guilty. Your sacred space, if you don't use it much or every day, it really doesn't matter. The time is right when you need to use it, but don't feel guilty. Crystals, they're used to resting, and don't worry there.
Definitely not. No, you shouldn't. No guilt or feel bad about crystals or any practice like that. You know what I mean? That's not a good vibration to go into. So no, you definitely don't. You don't need to use them at all. And like I said, like, you know what I mean, when you're drawn to use a particular crystal, it'll happen when it happens. You know what I mean? We're not robots. And I think the less regime that you put into your life, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, is wrong. In saying that, it is good to have a space and a wee bit of a routine if you wanted to go into meditation, or you wanted to, you know, if you suffer from like a depression and things like that, you could actually get into the routine of, you know, meditating with the crystal every morning. That's good. Maybe change the crystals if you want to, if you feel drawn to do so. But no, you don't have to use them all, and life's too short, and you can't just, don't be feeling guilty. No, definitely not. Definitely
so use them as and when you feel like
100%. Okay.
Fart warrior.
Hard to look for holy rocks, witch stones. Those are interesting and even more special because you find them yourself in nature. What do you think about blue amber? Well, witch stones, holy stones, hag stones. We've done a video on finding stones and crystals on a beach, and we think if you're looking for them like that, that would probably be the best place you could find holy stones. And as I said, down to intention, it's down to how you want to use them. But I would definitely be saying that's where I would be going if you were looking for it, with the intention that you could find other stones there. That would probably be
absolutely. Yeah, we have found holy stones, stones with holes on when we've been walking along the beach. Sometimes out and about in the woods. The beach is a good place to find holy stones because over many years the salts in the sea will help to drill out holes. It takes many thousands of years, but that's the best place to find them. You often see them with little tiny holes in there.
Unless there's worms underneath the sea can actually burrow into the rock. What about blue amber?
Blue amber, I'm not familiar
with it either.
Sorry.
Never heard of it, I have to say. And it'll be interesting to see what your views is on that. And by the way, guys, any of your questions you've asked that we have answered, if you can, you know, share with your thoughts. So if you're familiar with blue amber, whoever you are, leave a wee comment below this video and let people know, let Fart Warrior know. And it's good to see you back, by the way. Happy days. Okay, this is Whispers of 3. Hello and thank you for this opportunity. What's the difference between rainbow moonstone and labradorite? Or is it the same stone? Well, basically they're different. And as I say, just want to say, Angela Coleman replied. Angela, you were spot on here. Angela said, I could be wrong, but I think they connected in some way, and also possibly feldspar crystals.
That's right.
Like I said, I could be wrong, not sure, but feldspar is the right word, but hopefully they know what I mean. Yeah, 100% right. They're both in that feldspar group, but they are different. And what I would say is Moonstone is possibly one of the most misused minerals that was actually be wrongly labelled as Moonstone. A lot of specifics until it. If you go to a website called mind.org, I think it is MINDAT. .org. These are rock hounds. They're not in the metaphysical, but they will give you all the details and the properties of the crystals and the makeup. So if you wanted to check more, we'll put a wee link down below for it. But Angela, you were spot on there. So yes, they are of the same sort of grouping, but they're different. There you go. I think that's some more, is it? So guys, here's another one here. This is from Snow White.
And the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White.
There you go. Does clear quartz amplify both positive and negative energy?
Well, personally, with clear quartz, it is a magnifier. So it will magnify anything. You know, if people are feeling very depressed and they're having a clear quartz and they're holding it in their hand, and they're using it to meditation, that can calm. But it's also an amplifier. So if you're holding a big piece, like this, for example, of quartz, and you're thinking it's going to make you feel better, it can amplify how you're feeling. So just bear that in mind. So, you know, positive and negative, because it is an amplifier. It's not going to be selective.
Careful with your thought forms.
there's some people who say, oh, crystals, it's impossible to have negative energy from crystals, but really they don't give off negative energy, but they can amplify if you're feeling negative already, so just bear that in mind.
And if somebody said you can't be negative with crystals, then why have so many people depressed and suffering from, where we walk, there's billions of crystals below our feet, you know what I mean, like all the rocks or things like that, and so we don't go with that flow. But what I would say, tell you, yes, definitely, it's positive intention can be magnified, negative can be magnified. Be careful with your thoughts. It's not a crystal that you would be wanting to hold to meditate if you're in a bad place. Get yourself like a rose quartz, and that will bring you down. A bit of celestite, once again bringing a bit of amethyst, once again. But clear quartz, it's a magnifier, so definitely I would be very careful of using it. It's part of intention, you know what I mean? But like an example could be that if you're feeling down, the negative aspect of it, you get yourself a note, you write on it, I want to be positive, I want to send love to myself, and you sit it down and you place a clear quartz on top of it with your intention to say, I want the thing. Once again, your intention is everything. The clear quartz is going to magnify that which you've wrote on the piece of paper, and it'll be going on up. But don't be getting into holding things when you're in the negative.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. This is Nava Wilk. Hi, Nava. Do you think crystals could have made me a more positive person? Because last winter I was very sad and depressed. Sorry to hear that. My first time ever living on my own. I just got so lonely and so down. I purchased 4 crystals, a phantom, citrine, aquamarine, and a blue crystal ball. I honestly feel like they are my kids, and I hope to get some more.
I have a totally different winter this year. I was making mead and loving it. I can't help but feel that the crystals are alive and a positive force in my life. Do you feel crystals can have that positive of an impact? And do you know or care to share any examples of stones? Thanks so much. And I am so glad to have you both in my life for even more positivity, if not for crystals. I never found both of you for sure. Thanks so much for your lovely videos and positive impact.
Send you positive vibes. Glad you got through that section of road, and that's a magical thing, is that if you're going through a dark section, just keep going. Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, keep going. And I think you've got through that section. Does the crystals, I would say that crystals can play a part in, because it's a positive, but if you're introducing anything that makes you feel good, it has to have a positive effect on your outcome. So did the crystals help you shift energy and become more positive? I would have no question about it. If it made you feel happy, yes. Does the crystals themselves make a person feel happy? I think it takes a lot more than that, than just a crystal, as I say, then would have nobody sad. So I think it played a part. But I think if you look at your journey that you went through, maybe you introduce more things, and time's a great healer also. Do you know what I mean? So maybe you're moving, you went through your wee dark section, and you've introduced new things, and that plays a big part. Mind, body and spirit. Crystals in itself will not cure anything. But if it's part of mind, body and spirit, I think it could certainly cure.
It's how you use them as well, because a lot of people think, they can just get a load of crystals and then have them just sitting there and they think it's going to work miracles. You need to use them to how it's going to affect you. So you probably find, buying the crystals and having them in your life had a positive effect, because, you were holding them and it was making you feel good, and that is positive. Mm-hmm. So that's no doubt in my mind that the crystals have helped you there with feeling more positive. Yeah. Absolutely.
And you're mentioning about mead. And obviously it's like everything else, you know what I mean? Mead's an alcohol, so in other words, that could play a part in it too. But like anything, that doesn't matter whether it's marijuana or any drug, even coffee, what makes me feel good. But alcohol can also be a depressant, so you just need to be careful of what we put into our mind and our body on the things like that. I'm not here to preach about what you put into your body, that's your body, or what you put into your mind, that's your mind. But certainly alcohol can make people feel good, make people happy and different things. In the same breath, it could also make somebody feel sad and depressed whenever there's a come down. So everything, be careful of what we're doing. It's no question. I think that's it. Sorry, see if there's some examples of stories. Yeah, so I would say till you've introduced the crystals into your life, they brought a positive thing, 100%. And I think we as people don't normally treat ourselves special. So go out and buy yourself something. If you want to go out and buy yourself new clothes, it doesn't matter yourself or anybody listening to this, it makes you feel good. Buy yourself a new camera, buy yourself thing, go and visit a gallery, go out into nature, go and play with the children, take your husband, partner, girlfriend out for a meal. All of that will create a positive vibe.
Absolutely, yeah. The crystals as well, buying the crystals and that brought something into your life, something positive in that in itself. Crystals are amazing. They just are an amazing, beautiful buzz in themselves.
Yeah.
So absolutely, yeah.
Definitely. Feel good factor. Keep it going. Keep a positive vibe going. Okay, guys, this is the last question. This is from Christine Wright.
Christine Wright. I would like to ask if...
Are you ever wrong, Christine?
Right or wrong. You're always right. I would like to ask if either of you have had any new experiences since working with Moldavite, such as life transformations that you can attribute to Moldavite or synchronicities, things like that. And hello from Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
How fantastic is that? Would you like to answer that one first?
Yeah, any new experiences? Well, we've had major life transformations, whether that is down to the Moldavite. I don't think it is. I think that's other things. But there's no doubt that Moldavite is completely life-changing.
Definitely.
It really is. And there's many people who cannot use Moldavite at all in any form because it just is too much for them. It brings up too much, or it's just like, this is too powerful, I can't work with it. So it is definitely life-changing.
I don't think it has to have an effect. You know what I mean? When we are using Moldavite, things seem to happen a lot quicker than normal, and if you have, we talked about it in several of our videos. If you're not familiar with the videos, we'll put the link up above. But yes, definitely has an effect. And like Christine, you were asking, I think in the other question, did you think that it had any, I'm paraphrasing here, but I think you were mentioning, did it have any effect of myself and Lynn's relationship finishing and us going our separate way? I could be wrong, didn't you say that?
Yeah.
No, we don't believe that. We believe it was on a journey, it was on a path. But we do notice that when you're using Moldavite, things happen, and certainly shifts happen pretty quick.
It really does, yeah.
I don't work with my Moldavite as much now, and maybe you're giving me a wee bit of a nudge to do so. In fact, I haven't worked with Moldavite in probably 6 months, 8 months.
Ass kicker Moldavite, I always think, because if you're a bit, procrastinating a little bit, or you're putting things off, or you're thinking, I'm not quite sure, or pushing things under the carpet, when you work with Moldavite, it can kick butt.
Are you actually saying for me to use Moldavite? I'm king of procrastination, like.
And it can really, if you're not going to make it happen, the Moldavite will make it happen.
Is that what you're telling me then?
And that's often going to happen, it can really kick butt. So you have to be prepared for it. Usually it's nearly always for positive, so. I'm
going to have to take this as a wee sign here then, Christine, at working with Moldavite and then listening to Linny's crystal advice here. I'm a disaster. I don't want things to happen too fast, like I'm a bit of a chill out merchant, And so guys, I think that's us. We're going to wrap this up because I'm anxious of your time. Thank you all so much for your questions. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you've got any other questions, please leave them down below this video here, and we'll get on to them on the next question and answer video. So we want to send you love from Belfast.
Absolutely. Send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of crystal power.
Happy days.
From across the Emerald Isle. Bye.